All right, hackers and hackerettes, welcome to PortSwigger file upload vulnerabilities, and we're going to continue where we left off. The next topic is insufficient blacklisting of dangerous file types. By the way, this is building on top of each other. So if you haven't watched the previous videos in this series, I made I was going to say a blacklist, lol. I made a playlist of all PortSwigger file upload vulnerabilities on this channel. So just go watch that and follow them. So this time we're going to be walking through the context, and then we're going to do the next lab together. So insufficient blacklisting of dangerous file types. One of the more obvious ways of preventing users from uploading malicious scripts is to blacklist potentially dangerous file extensions like .php. The practice of blacklisting is inherently flawed, as it's difficult to explicitly block every possible file extension that could be used to execute code. Such blacklists can sometimes be bypassed by using lesser-known alternative file extensions that may still be executable, such as PHP 5, SHTML, and so on. Overriding server configuration. As we discussed in the previous section, servers typically won't execute files unless they have been configured to do so. For example, before an Apache server will execute PHP files requested by a client, developers might have to add the following directives to their Apache conf. So we do load module, and then PHP underscore module, and then the libphp.so, add type, and then httpd php.php. This is like regular Apache configuration in order to allow it to run PHP essentially. Many servers also allow developers to create special configuration files within individual directories in order to override or add to one or more of the global settings. So Apache servers, for example, will load a directory-specific configuration from a file called htaccess if one is present. I think if you've worked on web servers at all, you'll be too familiar with .htaccess and the Apache configuration file. You probably do not go into the file directly. You do something like a2en mod, which allows you to enable like mods, and maybe you write like external configuration files and then a2en conf. But essentially you could just like edit the file. Both are okay. Overriding the server configuration. Similarly, developers can make directory-specific configurations on IIS servers using a web.config file. This might include directives such as the following, which in this case allows JSON files to be served to users. Static content, mymtype file extension.json, mymtype application JSON, static content. So if you don't know IIS, it is a Microsoft server or Microsoft web server. Usually runs on a Microsoft server. Web servers use these kinds of configuration files when present, but you're not normally allowed to access them using HTTP requests. However, you may occasionally find servers that fail to stop you from uploading your own malicious configuration file. In this case, even if the file extension you need is blacklisted, you may be able to trick the server into mapping an arbitrary custom file extension to an executable MIME type. So I'm guessing this is where the next lab is gonna lead us into, because if we can like upload our own malicious configuration, then we can probably like map an extension like .hacker, and then it will be mapped to PHP essentially. So this lab contains a vulnerable image upload function. Certain file extensions are blacklisted, but this defense can be bypassed due to a fundamental flaw in the configuration of this blacklist. To solve the lab, upload a basic PHP web shell, then use it to exfiltrate the contents of Home Carlos secret. And then let's see a hint. You need to upload 2 different files to solve this lab. So we're correct. We're on the right path. We need to upload like a configuration file, and then we need to upload a the shell file for sure. Anyway, let's log into our account. There we go. And while we're here, we have Burp Suite running. This is from the previous lab. Let's clear the history. And let's... I want to apply the filter here, sir. Can we... Oh, no, we don't have burp running. So can we do that? And then we could apply this. And then there we go. We have our account. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to go see VMs share. This is where I keep my cybersecurity stuff. And then I'm going to just try our first attempt to upload PHP shell. Sorry, PHP files are not allowed. Sorry, there was an error uploading your file. Okay. So now at least we know that our PHP file is not being allowed. Cool. So I'm guessing because we have PHP shell.php, let's try to like run image JPEG. And this does not, like the content type here does not affect anything, which is expected. Let's try something like shtml. Okay, avatars php shell.shtml is or has been uploaded. So maybe what we could do is files avatars and then php shell.shtml cmd equals ls, and we get absolutely nothing. Okay, let's do echo hello. Is that gonna work? Nope. Okay. So cmd, let's try cat home cat home Carlos secret, and we get nothing. Okay, so it is essentially not giving us any kind of response. Okay, I don't know why is this being commented out, but anyway. So SHTML seems to be uploaded, but it's not being read at all, which is cool. My guess is that we need to upload a load module, like right here. So the file name here, since we can edit that, is going to be htaccess. And then the content type is going to be this guy. Whoops. Why? Oh, this is because I have this enabled. Okay. So we're mapping .hacker into PHP. Let's see if this works. It did get uploaded. So that means we now have an htaccess right on the server. And we are mapping the .hacker extension. So if I do shell.hacker, and then, well, let's just Control Z a couple of times, and then we can just do shell.hacker. Send. Shell.hacker has been uploaded. Okay. And then what we could do here is essentially just run shell.hacker. Oh, we got an internal server error. The server encountered an internal error or misconfiguration. It is an Apache server. Okay. Okay, so I guess it tried to run our .htaccess, but then it couldn't because of some reason. So let's bring it back, and then let's see if we can do something here. So this is an Ubuntu server that is trying to... So Apache here allow PHP modules. For Apache to allow and process PHP code instead of serving it as plain text, it needs to handle directives in its configuration files. HTTPD conf or htaccess. So what we could do here is that we can essentially just set .hacker, and then it's gonna set the handler there. But isn't that what we're doing here? Honestly, I'm not sure. So we uploaded that. I'm gonna duplicate this. I can just Control R it again to send it to the repeater again. That's good. So then I'm gonna type like shell.hacker. This will be my shell upload. And then PHP just system get cmd. And then let's see if we can upload that. It has been uploaded. And let's see if this works. It does not work. Okay. So looks like our configuration file is not working correctly as it should be. Let's do Apache allow custom extensions to be processed via PHP. So maybe this is going to work. Maybe we don't even need the load modules at all. And then here we could just do hacker and then something else like SHTML or something. So we could just try like with both of them. And then we have we have an error. We had an error here or like a typo. Okay, so now we have htaccess and we already have shell.hacker. There we go. Okay. It probably was the typo. Maybe it was the typo. Let's try it out. Actually, before we do that, let's just finish. Let's just finish the submission right here. Get the lab solved. Beautiful. Now let's actually do some experimentation here. So I'm gonna bring back the load module, and then I'm gonna fix the thing here. I'm gonna run it, and then. Oh, okay. So yes, this was an error. So we didn't need the load modules and the add type in here. In the htaccess, we just needed the files match. Boom. Okay, perfect. So yeah, this is how we can bypass some flawed implementation. If I give this a refresh, it should say solved. Perfect. Okay, let's actually check the solution. Maybe there's something different than what we did here. Login, upload image, okay, HTTP proxy, whatever, exploit, and then they're just echoing get contents, home Carlos. Where is the fun in that? Like, we uploaded the reverse shell. Okay, which admittedly, if there's like some kind of antivirus or anything that does like a scan for security, like our reverse shell will probably get caught immediately. Even Microsoft Defender, whenever I created that shell, it just caught it as a virus and just immediately quarantined it. So I just had to add my VMs folder as an exclusion. But this is a lab, so all good there. But even this looks suspicious to me. Like you're trying to get content from outside of the web server. So perhaps this will also like raise a red flag, but anyway, I digress. So they're just doing the same thing, but the exploit is just getting the contents of the file, and instead of having a reverse shell like we did, or not technically a reverse shell, but maybe RCE, like remote code execution. Attempt to upload. You are not you are not allowed to upload as PHP. Okay, and perps proxy history. Avatar, change the file name to htaccess. Okay. Content type to text plain. We did not do that. It looks like it did not matter. I just did it image JPEG and everything just worked. Replace the contents of the file with the following Apache directive. Add type and then just this. This maps an arbitrary extension lead to the executable MIME type HTTPD PHP. As the server uses mod PHP module, it knows how to handle this already. So maybe the only error that we have here is just this load module. Perhaps the module is already loaded, and maybe these are identical. So files match and add type looks like they are identical. So just the files match here probably worked or works well. Send the request, use the arrow back parameter exploit to exploit.lead. Send the request again, it was uploaded, and then run it, and there we go. Okay, so it looks like it is kind of the same, but our solution is way cooler. Thank you for watching. Give me a like, give me a subscribe, give me some constructive criticism, give me comments. Just let me know how you think overall about the video, about the channel in general. I'm trying to build this channel. It is still a baby channel. I learned from the community, so I'm doing my part to give the community back, because I also learned for free from YouTube and from videos like the ones that I'm making right now. So give me your opinion, give me a like, give me a subscribe. It helps me, it gives me motivation to continue doing these videos. Thank you, and see ya.